Walk the Edge by Myelin Foundry.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to Walk the Edge, a Myelin Foundry initiative. Today we are going to change gears and move into the fast-moving world of automobile innovation. The car is no longer a mechanical machine. It's software on wheels. And navigate through this whole challenge of how the software-defined vehicles are working, I have with me the Chief Technology Officer of Tata Motors passenger vehicles,
Yes.
Mr. Sven Patuschka. And we're going to have a lot of conversation. Thank you so much, Sven, for walking with us today.
Thank you very much.
So, Sven, my first question is, I've heard you speak about CESS
Yes.
a number of times.
Yes.
Connected, electrical, shared, and safe,
Yes.
right? As we move towards SDV, vehicles, software-defined vehicles for our viewers, how does AI play a role in this whole CESS world?
I think first of all, to the CESS topic, connected, electrified or electric, shared and safe. Let me start by saying if we could replace the S for shared with software,
All right.
I think then it might make more sense because so-called software-defined vehicles, software finally drives the experience of a vehicle, how a vehicle behaves, how a vehicle interacts with other vehicles, as well with the users. So from that perspective, as all vehicles are connected, as all vehicles are driven by software, as data now is available, suddenly the famous tool of AI comes to play and gives us opportunities that we, might not have had just a couple of years back. Today we produce, I don't know how many million terabytes of data every year in order to, gain information, gain insights on how our customers are using the vehicles, how our cars are being used in the free environment. And with that, in that case, AI then helps us to, enter some new eras of possibilities. One, of course, is if we start within our company, Tata Motors passenger vehicles, with the data which is available, that helps us to develop vehicles much faster, much more, in the virtual world compared to today, where we have to wait for physical properties to test them in order to figure out how our cars are performing. With AI being in place, we create so-called digital twins of our vehicles, where we can start, testing and modifying our vehicles ahead of when they become reality. And this helps us to save time. This helps us to look at more use cases that car might experience, which then finally also leads to a better quality. So this is where AI is helping us in our normal development processes within the company. Once the vehicle then is produced and is sold to our customers, then the next level where AI plays a role is when it comes to how a customer perceives the vehicle. Imagine today when you buy a vehicle, you enter the vehicle, normally you are being pulled out of your life, your digital life. Everyone has mobile phones 24/7, especially the younger generation. And then you enter a vehicle and then you're more or less put back in time a little bit. You have to learn the language of a car. You have to say, okay, I'm sitting in a Tata Motors, so you have to say, hey, Tata, in order to access the features of the car. And you also already have to then look at how your car is being set up it's getting wet here now a little bit. Maybe we should go a little bit.
Walk this side.
Yeah, we're here in beautiful lake house of Tata Motors, so therefore
Thank you so much for having us here, because it's a beautiful place.
No, it's really, really beautiful. So again, the customer enters, or the user enters the vehicle, and with the help of AI, the car starts learning on who the user is, how the user interacts with the car, and can save preferences, can understand the customer better. So finally, the personalization of our vehicles is being enabled by AI when it comes to how to interact between user and vehicle. And you have these huge screens in the car,
Yeah.
the data on the screens, like watching movies. Vehicle will remember what your favorite movie is. So from that perspective, this is all unlocked by AI.
Yeah, and how is that changing the experience of your customers inside? What is that you're aiming for? This is what it's doing.
Yeah.
But the feel of what you've kept talking about the customer experience
Yes.
time and again. What is that you're aiming in the near future as to how the customer will feel inside your vehicle?
Finally, it's all about how to first of all integrate the vehicle in your daily life. That means without disrupting what you are doing normally in your digital life. And second one is to have 200 features in the car is one thing which is very important, but how these features are being interconnected, how these features are being interlinked to create an experience. That's from our experience or from our expectation the next thing. How to ensure that a customer really feels, a user feels seamless, integrated in his vehicle, that everything is where it should be when it comes to features, but also how the features are interacting with each other.
And with you.
And with the driver himself, him or herself. So the seamlessness and the experience part, I think that's something what we are aiming for.
That's fascinating, you know. Yeah, it sounds like the vehicle is no longer a product you buy once. It is something which is constantly evolving.
Yes, it's like more or less your vehicle becomes your companion. Because that's the beauty of us in automotive industry. We are able, in crowded places like India, we are able to provide private space for the user, for the customer. And therefore, how the customer feels, lives in this private space, I think that's very important. And therefore, this personalization factor is very important, that we know, or the vehicle knows who the customer is, adopts to his or her driving habits, for example, and learns while driving, while living. And on top of that, with all vehicles being connected now, the vehicles are being modified in the future. Today, when you buy a vehicle, it's a one-time event. You go to the dealership, you buy a car, and then you have your car. With software-defined vehicles, where Tata Motors now embarked on the journey since last year, we are able to adopt, modify, upskill the vehicle along the life of a vehicle. So in future, it will be like one day you say, okay, today is the day, there's a big new software release for a customer, that you wake up in the morning, you go to the car and say, maybe I have a new car. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and therefore the car is evolving, the car is becoming better. And we can also use the data that we have, including putting AI agents on it to, how to say, get into the area of, for example, predictive maintenance. When you talk EVs, whether the health of your battery is where it should be, and whether we see something creeping up, then rather than today, where the customer might have a problem and then goes to the workshop, we will be able to prompt him or her to say, might make sense you come now already, because you might run into a problem.
Correct. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, when you talk about data and agentic AI and things being done, the question of security, of data security, privacy, etc. comes. So does it make sense on the long term to start? So for example, in Myelin, we work on agentic AI at the edge.
Yes.
Right? So question is, how much of the data should sit in the car, near on the silicon in the car, and how much of it goes into the cloud and sits in a control center somewhere else?
Okay.
What's the roadmap? Where is the future?
Okay, so I think first of all, as we are all aware that Tata Motors, one of the foundations of Tata Motors is safety. This not only applies for the physical property itself, that it's crash-worthy, but also when it comes to data. And the extensive use of data, for sure, let us put a lot of energy on assuring that this data is safe, and the data is only being used for what the customer wants, or the user wants today. Now, you asked about where the, let's say, intelligence should sit, in the cloud or in the car on the edge. I think it depends a bit. When it comes to, let's say, safety critical systems, for example, everything around automated driving, ADAS, advanced driver assistance systems. The latency part of let data travel from cloud to car and back becomes a critical factor, because finally, I don't know, with the latency of 200-300 milliseconds in normal highway speed, this means, I don't know, 4, 8, 10 meters of travel time. It's crucial to make the right decisions at the right point in time. So therefore, for the ADAS related, intelligence, part of it for sure must sit in the vehicle in order to ensure safe execution of features or functions. Of course, the slower you get, another area might sit outside. For example, when you go into the whole infotainment area, where latency is not the critical factor, and to adopt to the to adopt to the things,
compute power.
To adopt to the necessities of the customer or of the user. Then you can utilize bigger data centers outside of the vehicle and then just bring it in to the vehicle. On top of that, we also have to bear in mind, in order for AI to be successful, you need data. And the amount of data that is captured by sensors in the car for ADAS systems, if you imagine all of that to be transported out of the vehicle, then immediately you have let's say, a pure quantity of data becomes a problem. And therefore we have to balance where the data sits and where the data is being worked on in order to help the features, the functions.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm going to change tracks a bit. You talked a bit before about India and the diversity of India.
Yes.
And with such a diverse country, with so many languages, with so many traffic situations which are very different from one place to the other, how do you see that all coming along in your roadmap, that when you're deploying these global standard AIs onto your systems, how do you cater for these kind of differences?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, and you're more than aware, is that basis for a successful AI algorithm is the quality of the data which is behind, and therefore data has to be acquired locally. Localization is the topic. You know better than me. I'm German, you're Indian, but let's say what happens on roads in India is somehow different to
what happens
elsewhere. Is it the participants in traffic are much more different? Here we have cattle, here we have three-wheelers, which we in Germany do not have normally. And therefore, the ability of adopting to this specific local situation, I think is crucial to make the right decisions. Because finally, for our advanced driver assistance system, it's not about being too intrusive. It's finding the right balance that it really helps our customers, our drivers, to drive safer. And if there is an emergency on the road, if there is a chance to, one of the two-wheelers or whatever to hit the car, then the car has to react accordingly. And if you just blindly apply ADAS algorithms from Europe to India, they will fail. So you really have to work with local data. You have to use the data which is being acquired here in India.
Yeah. All right. One final thought. If you were to look 5 years down the road, what will the driving experience of a Tata vehicle be defined? Will it be defined by more horsepower under the hood? Or will it be defined by more teraflops of the AI engine?
Nice question. And I just referred to one interview I gave a couple of months back. Today, it's a very, horsepower is driving, or in the past, horsepower was the driving factor of experiencing a vehicle. Now it's more moving into dopamine driven vehicles. That means the vehicle becomes your companion, the vehicle lives with you, the vehicle learns about your habits, it adopts to your driving skills as well as your driving behavior, and therefore it's highly personalized for your specific use case, because it's your property, it's where you have to feel at home, and from that perspective, I think it best subscribes that horsepower supported by AI, and put it to an equation like an engineer. You might ask, an engineer versus AI. Of course, you can let these two systems compete with each other, but I always say an engineer, without using the tool set that AI offers him or her, has a disadvantage compared to an engineer who used the AI. So from that perspective, it is not either or. It's I would say intelligent combination. It's, in India, put the right amount of masala on top of the cake, and then you have what you want.
Wonderful. Sven, it's been a privilege.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for demystifying the whole software-defined vehicle for us and for our viewers. It's clear that at Tata Motors, the future is already hitting the road.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much. Thank you. Nice meeting you, and thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The takeaway is powerful. The vehicles of tomorrow will protect us, will know us, and grow with us. An edge is no longer a technical term. It is something which will make our vehicles our own and make it part of our lives. You have been watching Walk the Edge with me, Shekhar. See you next time as we continue stepping into the future, one edge at a time.
Walk the Edge by Myelin Foundry.